In the shadows of the YouTube streets where the quiet gets loud, there's a story in the soil that was never loud. Some patterns get buried but they never stay dead. They whisper through the cracks like the words unsaid. And when the silence breaks, you can hear the resistance. Welcome to the chapter called the cemetery business. And when the silence breaks, you can hear the resistance. Welcome to the chapter called the cemetery business. In the shadows of the YouTube streets where the quiet gets loud, there's a story in the soil that was never loud. Some patterns get buried but they never stay dead. They whisper through the cracks like the words unsaid. And when the silence breaks, you can hear the resistance. Welcome to the chapter called the cemetery business. And when the silence breaks, you can hear the resistance. Welcome to the chapter called the cemetery business. In the shadows of the YouTube streets where the quiet gets loud, there's a story in the soil that was never loud. Some patterns get buried but they never stay dead. They whisper through the cracks like the words unsaid. And when the silence breaks, you can hear the resistance. Welcome to the chapter called the cemetery business. And when the silence breaks, you can hear the resistance. Welcome to the chapter called the cemetery business. In the shadows of the YouTube streets where the quiet gets loud, there's a story in the soil that was never loud. Some patterns get buried but they never stay dead. They whisper through the cracks like the words unsaid. And when the silence breaks, you can hear the resistance. Welcome to the chapter called the cemetery business. And when the silence breaks, you can hear the resistance. the chapter called the cemetery business.
Let me test my sound.
To call the cemetery business.
Let me test my sound. All right, so my mic sounds nice. Good morning and welcome to Mo Knows featuring me, Mo, Monica Mo Justice. Okay. Um, I don't have a long time. I really got less than 60 minutes. Because I have some things to do. Uh, I want to first, I was just, uh, I just want to shout out my Lord and Savior because I'm definitely going to need that kind of energy to direct me through this process. So let me just stop sharing, go like this. I don't think I'm gonna do a camera day today either. Um, I just don't feel like it, even though I'm still trying to get myself ready for the day. So, Sam, in answer to your question, we don't have quorum, first of all, but people not expecting me to be here at 6:44 in the morning. Um, I'm not gonna be screaming, share me out, thumbs me up, but do all the YouTubey stuff. Here we go. Mo, will you ever do the chat and chew again? I do chat and choose when I'm available during the lunch hour. Anything particular you looking for, Sam? Hit me up in the on the Gmail. Okay. Um, even though I haven't reached quorum, and you know I don't like going forward without reaching quorum, but I'm gonna move on as quickly as I came in here like a quiet storm. Okay. First and foremost, the title of this video, I think I called it the autopsy. Yes, the autopsy of Unspoken, which is going to be the Unspoken Purpose Unafraid account. And in True Themes of Monica Mo Justice, I'm going to call this opening statements because this is just going to be the precursor. There will be a follow on video with this, which will be my receipt in point in case. Um, oh, you know what though? Um, yeah, I'm gonna leave it like this. No, let me just do something else too. Before I do this, I'll do it like this. Um, I was able to not watch 8 hours of John Frank video. Now I'm gonna start off with this. A couple of weeks ago, he asked me not to share stuff on his from his community wall. And that was after I had already shared something from his community wall. I gotta keep remembering though something about incorporating my street knowledge or my New York style into the platform. And he was very upset with me because I had shared his a video that he put out there. And I think he felt as if my video sharing his video would give a negative impression to the person for whom I shared the video of, or whatever it was. He read more into it than my goal was. But nevertheless, you know, staying on tune or staying in tune with what's going on in the streets is critical to your existence. So now I kind of understand the anger towards it. But he asked not to, since I didn't want to commingle our brands, right? That means I didn't want to collab with him, not to mess with his brand. So I was thinking about that, is should I comment on what I saw out here? And the answer is yes. And here's the reason why the answer is yes. Because this is cemetery business. It's that simple. This is a prime example of cemetery business. But before we get into the cemetery business, let me just break down a difference between, and see, I have the privilege of doing different things here. Um okay. So here we go. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. Cemetery business. I don't like writing on this stuff, right? A sector. I'm gonna have to get I'm gonna have to use versus a community. We'll be here all day like this. Guess what I'm writing in crayon? Hold up. Where's the eraser? Because y'all not gonna let me do this. A sector is another word for a community. Oftentimes I use the word community, and some people have picked up on it and some other people haven't. Guess that's this one. Okay. The cemetery, the cemetery is a community. The cemetery is part of a community, which means that it is a sector. It is built, it consists of many different communities. So let me come over here. There's Motown. Let me see. I don't got time to make this look pretty. I don't really feel comfortable with that, but I'm gonna leave it like that for now. So this is a prime example, and I think I'm gonna change all of these to another color. I don't like the way that's showing up. Okay. So now Motown, Karen's Perspective, John Frank, and any other channels that are over in this area, they all are their own individual communities. And those communities form a sector. Those communities form a sector, a community. And for my fictional purposes, I've dubbed that sector the cemetery. Many of these people here have called this sector, they call it J for K, but it's known as the Kanika community. So all of these single individual channels form a sector. And as they form the sector, I dubbed I I didn't dub it this. Karen dubbed it the cemetery. But they call themselves J for K. But in the reality of things, if you ask any other content creators outside of the sector, they call it the Kanika community. Because whenever I ask existing channels that are over in other communities, other sectors doing content, they tell me, girl, you know you from the Kanika community. So this is like a family tree. So this woman over here, I'm gonna use one of my favorite colors so there'll be no hate distributed here. Her name is Unspoken Purpose, Unafraid. She is a she is a channel holder, so she has her own community. And when I asked her on my platform, when she was on my platform, I asked her what was the name of her sector. And she gave whatever answer it was. But what's important is that it was not the cemetery, aka J4K or the Kanika community. Okay. In each community, it is driven by your subscribers. So the one thing that is consistent with both groups is that you have subscribers. Mm, subscribers, viewers, supporters. That's what everybody has in common. Everybody has subscribers and supporters, and subscribers can infiltrate or be part of any community in any sector. You can have overlap of subscribers coming from different things like this over here. Hold on. Um they could come from anywhere. They can share the same subscribers, and supporters can be the same subscribers and supporters over here in Motown. If they ever break through the barriers of Karen's perspective, they may be over here. They could be with John Frank and all the other channels that come from over here. They can overlap sectors. And you know what? I want to do something. Hold up. So we can share all the same supporters. Um, so I want to make. I'm trying to give you this visual, as sloppy as it looks, but I'm trying to give you this visual to point out that the thing that's in common is the supporters. No one really owns any supporters because the supporters, which could be you and I, have the flexibility of going wherever they want to go. And that's what's important when you look at a sector versus a community. So every time I turn around, I hear people who don't have a sector, an identifiable sector, always talking about a group of people in a community that has formulated a sector. So, for these purposes, I'm going to go in and continue to describe the community that was birthed out of the Kanika experience. That community has a sector. What has went wrong is that sector went into other people's community, and a sector is stronger than a community because a sector is not. In a community there is one. In a sector there are many. When some of the people from the community when some of the people from the sectors went over from the Kanika sector, the cemetery. I'm gonna call it the cemetery. That's what we've been calling it. This is cemetery business. And that's it. When the cemetery took themselves over and visited in other communities, be it supporters or channel holders themselves, and they went into other communities, they should have kept their business in their community. And therein lies the problem. Period. Right now, we wouldn't be talking about Roachgate and all this other stuff if people from the community didn't want to be acknowledged by this other community. I don't know why people, and this is not to marginalize what Unspoken Purpose has done in her community. But I don't know why the people from the cemetery needed to ban with the woman with that woman's platform for their existence. When I look at John Frank's video from the other night, I'm gonna give him kudos to him. I think he's living in his truth. He's living in his reality, and I ain't mad at him for it. I hope I don't lose this now that I want to get rid of it. Um, he I rate him about a 7 on that live stream because I have to take away points for one, begging to collaborate with Unspoken. You know, when I did my conversations on John a couple of weeks ago, I encouraged him to really embrace his platform, stop believing that he needs to interlock his talents with other people in order to um in order to be great. I think he's a force, and I keep saying it, to reckon with on his own, but he's got to see that for himself, and he's got to own that for himself. And there are too many instances when he still wants to collaborate with other people to make it. I want an opportunity to show y'all who I am and what I am. You've shown us who you are. We believe you. Now, if that image of who you are, you're trying to change it, it's going to be hard because people know who you are and they believed you the first time. And that's all due respect. That's not trying to disrespect you. If you want to change your image, again, it goes to my saying about being a character in somebody's story. If you don't like the way your character is depicted in another person's story, you have to change how your character acts, and then maybe the story will get changed. Linking up with people is not going to help you. Always advise, like, there's just this one thing that John does that's crazy to me because he's like, I could get so and so to do this. I could get so and so to do that. And then we could do this. And he's got great ideas. Execute your great ideas beginning with you, sir. It'll be a struggle when all of us have our individual communities here. We struggle to maintain the viewership because the audience here thrives on conflict. And anytime you go different from conflict, you risk being alienated. You don't need anybody else to do what you need to do. I think you actually did a great breakdown. Um, I didn't see the whole 8 hours, so I'm gonna say the first two. I got all the way to the initially. I got all the way to the part of Triple getting on the platform. You asked great questions of Triple. I would love to see the response video from since I know she did two live streams, one 4 hours, one 5 hours. So she did over 9 hours of content on you. I would love to hear how she analyzed the Triple Goddess um responses. I think you did a great job. Um, because you were defending you, and no one else can defend you better than you. And I think, again, you have done a lot of, you being John Frank, has done a lot of reflecting on what has transpired in the past couple of weeks. And I don't know what outcome you're reaching for or what outcome you want to get out of something, but I just wish you the best in whatever comes before you now. Whatever's presented as you're moving forward, I want it to be the best for you. And I think, I think it's attainable and I think it's possible. Um, so that's it. I don't really have any other um it would be a lot of, I won't say negatives. I think that part about moving on is great for him. I wish that he would really consider that sometimes when he's making his commentary about, hold on a minute. Okay, when he's making his commentary, that he would stop saying we. The whole community knew we need to practice, basically. Hold on a second. No, I'm gonna let that ride. We need to practice owning our own shiz. So I'm not just gonna drop it on you, but you the biggest we person there is out here. You need to stop speaking on behalf of the whole community. Nobody elected you the spokesperson for the community. Let me see if I get my. Oh, I think I lost it. I'm gonna be mad. But nobody, oh, I think I lost it. I should have never closed it down. Okay, it doesn't matter. Nobody elected you to be the spokesperson for the community. Nobody, that video, that spoofing and all that other stuff, that you didn't have to say all of that. You could have stuck with you. And it would have been just as powerful as saying the whole community and speaking on behalf of everybody else. Now, Monica Mo Justice, of course, I had to go to my archives and find my engagement on that Roach thing. I called it Roachgate back in those days. And I will bring that video forward and just bring you the highlights of that video, because I think it's very interesting and it's a telling story. Now I don't know what video Bam got, and I was gonna go on my community wall and ask for the video that Bam sent to Unspoken to review, that had la cucaracha. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Um, I would like to see that edited video. I like to see what was the edited video, because based on my video that I have here, I know which video I watched. The funny thing about it is she tells us she received a video that had a roach in it, but we never see it. So we are led to believe that there was a video given to her. And nobody has questioned, let me see the video you received to see if it is the video that we all saw. Now, John Frank is admitting that I don't even know what he's admitting to be quite honest. So I don't, because I'm confused if he gave a video to Bam, but what we do know is that Bam gave her a video. So we need to see the video that Bam had. Now listen to When Your Hand Don't Call for Shit. I don't believe they're ever going to produce that video. Because that may be the same video that we all saw. Hold on a minute.
In the shadows of the YouTube streets where the quiet gets loud, there's a story in the soil that was never heard, never loud. Some patterns get buried but they never stay dead. They whisper through the cracks like the words unsaid. And when the silence breaks, you can hear the resistance. Welcome to the chapter called the cemetery business. And when the silence breaks, you can hear the resistance. Welcome to the chapter called the cemetery business. In the shadows of the YouTube streets where the quiet gets loud, there's a story in the soil that was never heard, never loud. Some patterns get buried but they never stay dead. They whisper through the cracks like the words unsaid. And when the silence breaks, you can hear the resistance. Welcome to the chapter called the cemetery business. And when the silence breaks, you can hear the resistance. Welcome to the chapter called the cemetery business.
All right. All I'm going to say is that I just believe that you shouldn't speak on behalf of the whole community. You should just speak on behalf of yourself at times because um I applaud Bam because from what I could see in the unspoken video, because the chat is pinned to the storyline, the chat is pinned to the screen. Bam is saying she saw the video in real time, which means during the live stream, and when she saw the video it looked like a roach to her. And perception is often the reality of things. And I think what people are forgetting at that period of time when Lovely, and this is with all due respect, when Lovely was living in the she shed before the storm that I call the Louisiana Purchase, right? And these are facts because this is cemetery business. That house was a she shed. And it's not I'm trying to be cautious with my words because I'm not accustomed to being out here dissing people's living quarters. Okay? But when I stumbled upon the storyline of how she was living, um it was Straight Drop and Logic who were reviewing her quarters, and they were doing a video where they was looking at the outside of the property, and it had already looked like it weathered some storms. And in my video I'm saying, oh, had it not, the creator is a powerful creator, but for us seeing that footage that Straight Drop and Logic did, we would not have known that her house was really truly a she shed, right? It was terrible on the outside. And they made a video. We was on the panel at the time when they made the video and they was showing it, and I was like, I was stuck in a rock and a hard place looking at that. And then the storm came around, and in my video you hear me say something to the effect like, good thing we got to see that house before the storm, because she would have tried to tell us that that was a storm damage. She was already living in a disaster zone. And Alethea, all right, because I'm calling names today. Alethea used to tell me that she was watching videos from Straight Drop and Logic, and Lovely had mice and roaches running around the live stream as she was attempting to cook. So I say it in that video years ago, and I'm saying it now. So when she pulls out the sugar bag and goes and drop, and I blew it up when I could see it the most, it looked like a roach fell out the bag to me and everybody that saw it at that time. So you could come up here and try to sugarcoat the roach situation, but sometimes perception is the reality. And that's unfortunate. Now, let's talk about this name calling that goes on around here, because Unspoken Purpose, when she came on my platform years ago, she advised us that she was this type of person. She would analyze your videos for her content. She's going to go into your community, look at your videos, and make content of it. That is cemetery business, but this is what she does. This is how she makes her commentary. And she tells you she does her due diligence. So as she's going through your communities and looking at your videography That is why people put their videos on private all throughout the communities that she was reviewing. That's why she kept saying, well, y'all privated your lives. You're privated your lives. Because she comes through there like a tax collector, maybe like ICE right now, combing through communities looking for content. And she goes to your streams, my streams, your streams, our streams, whoever streams it is, and makes content out of it. And she says, in my video, she says, listen, y'all don't make this stuff clear and concise. I can't even follow along when y'all use those names to call people, those derogatory terms. Bitch, that's cemetery business. We make names over here. That's what we do. So when Han decided to call the woman roach hoe, if you saw it or not, if you wanted him to know exactly who you was talking about, or you want people to know exactly who you're talking about, you would say roach hoe. Nobody told her the answer to it. She got a video over there. Demonica. Anybody knows that's what she's calling me. Are you telling her not to call me Demonica? Because I'm saying the same thing. The reason why people over here gave people names is because in the beginning of time, if you would have said, at the time her channel was LTG, if you would have said Lovely the Great, they would have flagged you for bullying and harassment. So in the words of, what's her name, Karen? Slob on a Knob. Does everybody know who Slob on a Knob is? Let me just put a poll on here. Because you know we do polls over here. Do you know Slob on? See, the other day, Unspoken, she was over there and she was able, y'all call it reads now. She was able to tell people, if you don't know who Slob on a Knob is, then you're not part of this community. You are visiting. You came from somewhere else. And it's not a bad thing. It's just you don't know. You don't know cemetery business. She was playing a video over there and she's like, she's talking about Vegas hangout thoughts. And she says to Vonnie, see, that's why Karen, well, she didn't say it to Vonnie, but she's saying to her audience, see, this is what Karen, now we know how you got Vegas hangout thought. So now she's been around listening to content long enough now to know, yo, hit the likes. Get my likes up. She's been around here long enough to know the Vegas hangout thought statement is directed at Vonnie from Karen. How many of us, the rest of us, call her Vegas hangout thought? You got, what's the name over there calling her Bonnie Doo Doo? Imagine if the rest of us was walking around here calling her Bonnie Doo Doo. They are personal identifiers to the channels who make up their own communities. That's what they're calling people in their community. Again, that's cemetery business. That's what's going on over there. Now, Unspoken Purpose, she's got a name for Trey over there, which I don't know what it is. I can't think of it. I couldn't think of it for the life of me last night. I couldn't think of it for the life of me last night. But what the hell does she call the damn Trey account? Whatever she calls Money Boy Trey, she got a name for him. That's her name over there in her community. So when you're listening to her do this breakdown and she's trying to diminish our activities from the cemetery, just remember it's cemetery business. It ain't got nothing to do with her. Nobody's asking for her approval, but understand that she's just giving some commentary on something that ain't got nothing to do with her. So, yes, I'm going to argue with Joy about it because Joy's position to Monica is basically, I don't think Unspoken even wants to have any issues with you. Why you keep making issues with her? Because she keep fucking talking about me. Period. Listen, in a week, in the last 5 days, I have heard me be referred to as Monica. No, I was a Monica. I was Monica and KK. I heard KK and Mo the other day. I heard KK and Mo no, or something like that. Mo no, right? Which is her taking the Mo knows. Everybody knows that my symbol is Mo knows, KNOW. Then I got the no, which is the NO in capitals. So she done took it and went Mo, no. That's where that came from. I realized that a long time ago when she was doing it. And I said to myself, oh, Monica, fall back. She at least she not calling you Mo ho ho or any of those things. She's just going off the shit you got on your shit. I fell back a little. Right? But I know where it originated from. I didn't get tight with it. You guys are taking too much stuff personal on a free app that for the most of us doesn't is not financially rewarding. It's a hobby. It's something that you do in your spare time that should not be that detrimental to your health. Um it's just it's absolutely crazy to me. Mo no. Yeah, so that's where the Mo no comes from. Okay? Or at least I believe that's where it is. And if it doesn't, that's what I'm rolling with. Because I prefer to be that than hoe or side hoe and all them other hoes y'all be over here calling me. On some stuff that y'all really don't have firsthand knowledge of. So I will come out here. I can't promise you that it'll be tonight, but I will promise you that it'll be by the weekend. I'll release when I reviewed the Roach video. And here's what's important about that. Lovely herself tagged me because she wanted me to review that video. And in my video, I'm speaking on integrity. And this is what I'm telling them. I'm trying to explain to people about releasing your power to somebody else. If a person's opinion, negative opinion of you does not matter. What are you saying, Monica? If you have deemed that if someone speaks about you in a negative as not being important, why if they speak on you in the positive, why does that have importance? It's a faucet. When you listen to John Frank's video, he turns on and off when he can accept some things and is willing to live with it, and then when he can't accept some things and he's not willing to live with it. Sometimes you have to just be consistent across the board, and you have to have your own personal levels of what am I going to accept? What am I not going to accept? You have to build your own red lines in the in the sand and stand on those. No one is ever going to challenge you for having your own personal boundaries that you don't let people break. A prime example of a community here is the Karen's Perspective community, right? Her channel. She's got boundaries that nobody can pierce. Not even her bestie, Mo Mo Mo. She set them up. Those are her protective measures. Believe it or not, Lovely, the Louisiana Purchase, she, as a retaliatory measure, because she can't take rejection, she set up her own boundaries for when you reject her, how she's going to respond. Remember, I didn't know her when I went into Tommy Sotomayor's room to get her out of there. I don't know what I was going to do by getting her out of there. But I definitely was over there and I definitely was watching her. And I was like, girl, get off of there. You are making a fool of yourself because you are telling the man that is explaining to you that you are putting people on your platform who are talking negative about people who got money. And until it happened to PP, nobody understood what Tommy Sotomayor was saying. That was disparaging somebody's character, and you could be sued for that. But since you ain't had shit, there was nothing to sue, is basically what he was saying. And she's sitting up there, no, since that time, I have growth. I've grown. I'm like, oh my God. If you look at her recent video, I think it was New Year's Eve when she was telling Michi that she was sorry for talking about her nasty, messy environment. I'm not. Her Michi describes it as her disorganized sleeping quarters. So I'll just describe it as that too, because it was just a mess, right? For whatever it is. When she was describing that, you saw how she was acting. Go back and look at that video. How she was like squirming in the corner and playing with her hair like a school child. I'm talking about Lovely. That's probably what she was doing when she was speaking to Tommy Sotomayor. Because you hear the same type of voice pattern. That trying to sound like an innocent schoolgirl when she's a grown ass woman. A messy grown ass woman. Like, come on already. Vonnie. I don't really know Vonnie either on here. The wind goes. One day I could watch a a short. I'm gonna call them short clips. I can watch her short updates. Um, I don't know what to call them, but she does them. They're little briefings, right? When she comes on here, she gives a little briefing, right? Her and KK do not get along. I can't like her if I want to because I'm Team KK. That's just the way the shit goes. So now the whole world knows I shouldn't be engaging with her. I shouldn't be interacting with her and so on and so forth because the two of them don't get along for something I don't got nothing to do with. But nevertheless, there are days when I'm a hit or miss with her. I'm not taking it personal. But I guess it's bad for me because first she comes after Karen, and I'm still like, oh, okay, lukewarm. Then it's like, oh my God, she's coming after Cousin Joy. What are you going to do, Monica? I didn't even understand the importance of the washing machines. I am so glad I did not decide to show my laundry room. Funded by Monica Mo Justice. You know, if I would have showed my washer setup, oh my goodness. I'm so glad because I saw it. Sometimes I don't know the history, and I'm in the cemetery. Sometimes I don't know all the cemetery business. And the reason why is because I didn't follow all of these shenanigans around here. I was not a straight drop fan. I became acquainted with Logic because he kept coming around me. Myron, go choke on that one. Oh, and Michi, could you stop telling people to go suck a fat baby's webos and stuff like? Could you stop that? That is the word. Like, I don't even know why somebody hasn't checked you on that already. That is the worst thing. First of all, no one should be sucking anything on a baby. So that's just like the most nasty terminology I ever did hear. But ain't nobody say nothing about it. A lot of this stuff, yeah, it's just disgusting to hear her say that. That's the most disgusting thing. Like, if you wanted to be outraged about something, I need y'all to get outraged about Michi saying that. All the other shit going on, and she says it so openly. Like it's a proud thing to say. You ain't got no business saying nothing like that. You be better off. The saying is something about loving cake like a fat kid loves cake or something. But you don't use those kind of words and babies and stuff. Like it sounds disgusting. I was going through some I'm cutting something up to play it and I was like, ugh, I can't even play this because look what she's saying. And you really don't want to be editing out too much of these people things because you want to keep it original. That's just the nastiest shit. I think it's such a turnoff for me. It's just disgusting. So if nobody told you, I'm saying that. And if you want to call the police on me and you want to call the therapist, remember I got that clip because I'm gonna tell them somewhere around here you've been sucking on fat babies. And when she made that video, she said she wanted to have Monica arrested, Gears, and she says troll Gears. Hey, Unspoken, troll Gears, which is Michi's calling for Gears. That is Karen's terminology for him. I'm gonna tell you in the simplest terms, it's just words. Rocho was just words. Those people that wanted to say Rocho when they got mad at her, guess what? They were within their purview to do so. Just like you was in your purview to look at that video, your perspective became your reality and you gave it to your community the way you wanted them to see it. I agree with her that the people from the cemetery should never have given her that video. Period. When you put your content in her hands, you open up the door for her to interpret it. Who the fuck is she? You know they used to have this saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happened in the cemetery should have stayed in the cemetery. That is why Faith, Vonnie were going over there to drag Bam's ass back over here. But little did people know, in the wee hours of the night, when they was sitting over there on Mississippi Musty, see, now that is Trey's name for the trademark bitch. That's our name for her. Karen went over there. Maybe she's part of your sector. Because the trademark bitch put a trademark at the end of her name and Karen felt intimidated And when I say intimidated, that it was trying to attack her. Not that she was afraid of it. Because she went in there and confronted it. She felt like, I guess the word is antagonizing. It was antagonizing Karen. And she goes back in her receipts to before she put the TM on the damn name. Because if we have y'all tell it, Karen done bookmarked everybody in everybody's community. That's what y'all told us. Okay, where else? Where am I in my thought? Um, any questions, comments, or concerns out of it? Here come Karen. Not intimidate. Nah, she tried to be me. Oh, impersonate? Is that the word I'm looking for? Impersonate? She tried to impersonate Karen. See, in the live environment, also, you can have brain fart moments, not come up with the right words and stuff like that. When people are reviewing your videos, they take that to heart to try to make you look stupid. It's all part of the YouTube experience. It's one that's out here. Somebody will take this video and start analyzing it, and they're looking for your mistakes. You're in the live environment. It's not like you were doing an upload where you had an opportunity to review the content, make changes to the content, try to make it accurate. I watch planner community videos, and they are saying things in their video, and then you'll see them on the screen come and do a correction on there. People make mistakes. On here, people try to capitalize on other people's mistakes. Capitalize, the minute I use the word, guess whose name pops up in my head? Zakina. Zakina, stop playing with John Frank and your daughter. Nip that shit in the bud before it gets out of control. Have people respect your loved ones. Up here, a whole fucking John Frank with a fucking girlfriend, wife, significant other, 20-year relationship. Why you even let him pretend like he wants to fucking play around with your daughter? Are you fucking kidding me? You could have nipped that in the bud from the, like, John, son-in-law never. Come on. That's when you can't take the shit seriously. That's exactly when you can't take the shit seriously. Don't let nobody play on your daughter. Your daughter was educated, rooftop. He came up there and she told you politely, Ma, he's a fucking energy vampire. Oh, is he a good vampire? Fuck what kind of vampire? Anything sucks your motherfucking blood is not good. Bees, anything. Man, fuck out of here. That shit just had me so disgusted. And it's not that he can't fall in love with your daughter, any of those things that he don't deserve. It's that he himself is in a long-term relationship that we all know about. Let's just keep it, let's just keep it 100. Don't you gotta nip some of these fucking games right off because the disrespect respectfully is always there. He gonna be like, I was just playing. No, fuck the just playing. Cause that's one of the biggest problems I have with him when he went over there to these niggas on the internet. And he's like, yo, Mo's head game is good. Like, it's whoop, 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 whoop. And then the Negro shows up twice. There was him and the Fenoy guy. He showed up in the chat the following day. Cut out the you like respect, like just have respect for yourself. I know it's harmless banter, but you've got to command the respect from the beginning. That shit was just goofy to me. Like that was the goofiest shit I seen in the whole fucking play or whatever. And when people talk about energy and all that other stuff, because you know John Frank is around that same energy. Cause yo soy puertorriqueña. Um, he's around that same type of energy. Your daughter was on some serious shit up there. Like the young lady second time around, she's not something to fuck around with. Take heed to her. Some of us all have the younger generation who really feed us better information than the fucking generation we stuck here on the internet with. The subscribers that make up our community. And I say that respectfully, Sakina. I did not say it in your space because I did not want to disrespect your space. So I'm saying it on my space, on my platform. Know that. That's why I do respect the fact that when Bonnie took her ass out of here, she said, listen, I don't want to disrespect you, Mo. So you go over there and say it on your space. I get it. We've all come to terms with that. You know why? Because this is the motherfucking cemetery. It is motherfucking cemetery business again. It's the craziest shit. We chastise our own. We speak on our own. When they went over there and had a conversation with John Frank, they were dealing with their own in their own way as conservatively as possible because nobody wanted to make content out of John Frank, Miss Tawana. But then some things cannot be resolved behind the scenes because they gone too far. Basically, John Frank was out of control. And to listen to him the other night explain and re examine himself, that's a wonderful thing. It's unfortunate that now you're going to make content out of it on him. But I ain't tell their asses to go find your ass and go over there in your community and think you was about some shit. Because you ain't about nothing. Yes, Unspoken, you're not about anything tangible. Oh, and you are, Monica? We all on the same fucking platform. We're all on the same fucking time. I'm on your time. Whatever it is you do, bitch, I do the same thing. We on the same level. And the reason why we're on the same level is because we got the same audience. If you want to keep your audience exclusive to you, stop talking about the cemetery. Move on. Take your feed your constituents the content you want them to have. Why would you want them to have the cemetery shit? Because you got one person over there, bam, she defected. I have always been a strong advocate that you could keep her. Oh, you got Joy. That's fine. Joy likes you. According to Joy, she was over there a long time before she even met a Trey. So she was watching you and she was familiar with you. I understand that there was a few more people in this community that were watching you and were familiar with you before they became content. Remember that diagram where we have subscribers and supporters? They go in any community in every sector. You can't control that. But why are you feeding them the cemetery? If you got more constructive content over there. The one thing Karen did say when this first evolved and y'all first came under our vision, because see, we didn't know you, Unspoken, and we're going to stand on that until I die. It's something I will take to my deathbed. It wasn't until Karen went over to the dormant, empty trademark bitch platform, Nicole's Perspective, no TM, sometimes a TM. Before she went over there to that wee hour shit, see how many names the channel has? Before she went over there, we didn't know you. It's after she went over there and it caused a ruckus that the cemetery flooded the chat. Subscribe to the channel. Right? Did we find out about you? Because what did you do? You did commentary on Karen's arrival there. And Karen got wind of it. And you did commentary about, because we was over there on Trey's platform and the things that were going on with Joy. And then you tried to pit Karen against Monica. Which one is more like Karen's about her business and Monica's not, she's weakling and this and that. Then I had to hear Too Strong repeat the same sentiment about me while she's sitting on a panel talking to Mimi, while Mimi is saying, I went over there to Mo's and told Mo what happened with me and Hyde. Look, I call him Hyde because that's what Karen calls him. And I speak to her most of the time. But he knows he was kid dynamite in my world. JJ from Good Times. Man, you had to be part of the cemetery to know the cemetery. Cemetery motherfucking business. That part. So in any event, that's when we found out about you. When you was doing that commentary on us. We had never heard of you before that time. I went back in my videos. I can stand on this with fucking 10 toes down. When you bring me a motherfucking timeline, you better have a goddamn date with it. Because that's all that's going to matter. Somebody try to come up here and say some other situation that happened over there in the in on that woman. Oh, the titty pics. The titty pics that Trey put out on Mississippi Musty, aka the trademark bitch, all occurred after Karen went over there. Because we went on Trey's panel trying to explain why we was over there and what truth opinion of going over there was about. And then that's when the trademark bitch and him fell out because he was defending her at first. So every time somebody wants to put up a scenario, it all begins for us when Karen went over there. I don't give a fuck when it began for y'all, when you became familiar with something. I know when we became familiar with something. Period. And when you hear originally, because they said Bonnie has switched and swatched or whatever, they was not over there. They was not over there. That's what Faith said when we went on Linda's panel. Now, I hear, and Joy did this to me many years ago. They jumped me on a panel. I'm going to need to see Linda's panel to see how she got jumped. Bitch, you asked me to come up there. I was writing in the chat, minding my own business, unspoken purpose. And you said, I see Monica Mo Justice in the chat. Bitch, that's a call out. And where you show up, I'm going to show out. So then I went up there. If you had not addressed me from the chat, it's unfair advantage to be writing in the chat while somebody's talking shit to you on a panel. If you didn't want to be jumped, see, you thought I was a pussy. If you didn't want to be jumped, you wouldn't have called for me out the chat. You called, I came, you got it. See, what happened to y'all is that y'all thought I would hate Faith more than I respected the community I'm in. Yo, I went out fighting for mine for the fucking cemetery. And I stand on that shit. Every fucking day, I went out there fighting for the cemetery to maintain our own independence, our own sovereignty. It has never fucking changed for me. That's a sad shit to say on a free fucking platform that this is all a hypothetical reality, which means it's all fictional. Why the fuck would you be taking on? This is how gangbanging starts in the streets. You take on an affection for some shit that you can't control. Yeah, it meant more to me. And I always said, every time you come to attack, I'll be standing right there ready to fight back. Here I am. I'll be your huckleberry. For a bunch of motherfuckers that don't even fucking like me. Imagine that. But knowing that I originate from somewhere, knowing that I can claim something that I've been a part of, opposed to you who has no sector. You only have a community. And we could have washed that shit out a long time ago because we know how to do it. And it's not no flagging and all of that other shit. WPs. I ran a whole platform here on WPs. Ask Nunya. She'll tell you what they are. You'll have to pay her. Or him. Or it. Or they. Or them. So every time you over there screaming, I got 100 people in the room. No, 40 of them must come from the cemetery. And if you didn't have those 40, you'd be sitting there on about 60 people. Period. Y'all need to get y'all collective bargaining up. Y'all was up here worrying about fucking blacking out fucking lovely and running fucking whole campaigns like that. Y'all need to manage your equity. I keep telling you, you underestimate your value over here in the cemetery. Every individual channel. I encourage you to go out here and do your commentary and see what she's going to be doing commentary on. She keeps saying, y'all need me and my name up in your thing to make videos. Watch what they're going to do. That's not no prediction. That's predictive programming 101. You start some shit with John Frank and you say, after this, I'm going to close this down. But watch, they're going to be making videos of me. Then you got stupid people in the fucking chat talking about, oh, they're going to be making videos about. What are we doing here? That's fucking common sense. You don't think a person's going to respond? You expecting no reply? Send back to sender? Are you fucking a pretender? That's not how that shit works. You kidnapped my motherfucking cousin. You got her over there. You win for Mo. You win. Try to kidnap my bestie. No matter what, I'ma love my cousin forever, worry. And that's it. If I speak to her or not, it's an unspoken purpose for us. Behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, wherever it is. When I was out here making my first original content, that was my motherfucking cousin. Hey Joy, can you please heart both Karen and and Bam's comments over there in your room? Can you please heart them? Because treating them the same without no recognition, it's a disrespect to both of them. Cause believe it or not, I think Joy rocks with Karen the long way. Not the hard way, but the long way. And I think she rocks with the Bamster, the butterfly, the caterpillar. You know, I got my own names for her. Her long way. Don't do my bestie like that. When you fall in love with voices, something's wrong with you. My opinion, though. Um, yeah. I mean, I started out really calling Unspoken a troll to me because I've never seen her, period. I've never seen her on the live, period. So to me, she's a troll account. And I really don't like to pay troll account much attention. But it is what it is. I know that this is going to come under scrutiny. I'm just going, my next videos will be with my evidence to back what I said. Do I want a never ending fight with her? Absolutely not. But I don't like somebody, or let me just say this. I believe she has the wrong set of facts that she's going off of. And if there was a way to mitigate those issues, I gladly would like to mitigate them. So I'm going to come out here with what I had to say since the last video she put out. The language in her video, let me go to the wording to be precise. Um, she said that I put up a so I got a screenshot of somebody saying, okay, so one thing I want to say is she said I got a screenshot. I'm not taking that one of you sent her a screenshot. I'm taking it as she retrieved a screenshot of her of watching me herself. And she's got a screenshot of somebody. That somebody is me. Saying something about it's crazy that you would talk about a whole nother sector without knowing the history. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. In if it's paraphrased or not, you don't know the history, you're doing commentary about it out of context, and you're causing more division. Because either some people are going to now see it from your perspective and start a whole new campaign out here, or it's being put out here and it's missing the appropriate timeline. So when you see it from your perspective, it may make sense, but that's not actually what happened in the reality of what actually occurred. So that what may make sense doesn't really make sense after all. That person did the same thing, coming in and talking about petitions. So I got my video where I spoke on the petition. And again, the petition, if you ever looked at it, is Loca Libra. And I don't know how many times I had been corrected in the beginning that Helmet Head and Local Libra was two different entities. And spiders and flies. Why that spider and the fly bother you so much? It is commentary that I have been doing forever, worry over here since 2018. Every time I identify a situation that is a spider fly scenario, I bring it up. If the shoe fits, you're wearing it because it's bothering you. You're letting me know that that had some weight, some merit. Again, you don't like the way your character is depicted in my story, change the way your character behaves, and maybe I'll change my story. I don't have a problem redirecting my energies when I find out different information. I don't have a problem with that. And damn movements and all that stuff. Didn't even know what the hell was going on. Hit links talking about our shit. Maybe it was sector, but it's probably shit. I hit links. I believe I know what link you're talking about. I absolutely asked for a video that was being privated, in your words, so I could see it because I was missing some of the storyline. I believe those missing videos that I asked to be unprivated all had to do with, check this shit out when we talking about fictitious shit around here. Jade. Now, someone tried to explain to me that Jade is a storyline created by Too Strong. I don't know. I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't know. But what I do know is when Lovely put her ass up in the Jade conversation over here in the cemetery, we had some words for her on it. That was part of the commingling of the platforms. Like, mind your fucking business, basically. But I'll have to go back and look and see what was the Jade commentary that was coming out of here. Maybe some people opined on it, but once y'all got popped as it not being true, that shit is crazy. You over here talking about a not true roach when you had a whole fucking Jade play on a man. Come on already. And I'm speaking on it from a high level of not knowing all the little ins and outs. Just like you be speaking on stuff from a high level of not knowing all the ins and outs, but just knowing that the shit don't make sense. And trying to convey to a group of people that this shit don't make sense. That's the only thing that's in common. Thank you for letting us in on the Abril situation because once again, we don't know where that bitch came from either. We didn't know nothing about her. So that little information that you provided about a history between your experience, well, not a history, but your experience dealing with her makes sense. Hey, why her husband is a mechanic and she done brought the mechanic out here and he ain't say nothing about no pregnancy. I just did that for my for my bestie. All right, TG, Troll Gears and Company wanted to take that demonstration from her. The broad don't that don't speak. I do recall they was like, yo, if you don't, that's probably when they decided to walk away from her. I slightly remember that. Anyway, I'm gonna take my ass in to make some money because I don't make no money on this YouTube talking about this stuff. Anyway, thumbs up the video. You could super thanks me at the end of the video if you like this video. Um, I'm gonna try to figure out how to put it, but whatever I come out with, it's gonna be a receipt that never expires. So it's gonna be on the playlist, the receipts that never expire, because there's just some things that when people say like she just said here about the roach gate is gonna go on the receipts that never expire because I need my intro to that video to be definitely shared because I speak on things intri- I speak on things intensively, dear, and I speak about realities, right? And how how somebody else's reality. You can't tell anyone who believes they saw a roach, and this goes for both John Frank and for Unspoken Purpose. If somebody believes they saw a roach, then they saw a roach. Go to Alethea and ask Alethea if she ever told Monica that Straight Dropping Logic were doing videos of rats and roaches running around on lovely streams while she was live. And if Alethea tells you no, I'll deal with Alethea a different way. You know what? Let me call Alethea on the phone while I'm live. Hold up. Let me go find this woman number. Her number probably changed. Let me go find that woman's number. But like I said, her number probably changed because I don't speak to her. Oh, don't be texting me now. But y'all could go. The reason why I'm saying Alethea is because during that period of time, I definitely wasn't watching her, and it's not intended to shame Lovely. But the question is on the table. Here is the question. Let me make sure everybody understands the question. Did Straight Drop and or Logic do videos on Lovely stating or showing, because I think she told me showing rat and roaches running around the place. Now that's what Alethea told me. And the reason why I'm pointing out Alethea is because she's friends with Lovely. And she's had many communications with Lovely. So maybe she can explain to Lovely what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying I saw them, but there was a whole community over here watching that. Good morning, Lovely. Good morning, Lovely. I appreciate you coming up in here and saying no. How you doing today, honey? How's it going over there? Did you have to clock in for work yet? So y'all mean to tell me, and this would be very interesting. You know why? Because I remember people coming to tell me that Lovely was doing videos about Karen, and she had videos of Karen. She had pictures of Karen being admitted to the crazy house, and she was wearing a straight jacket. And I asked people to send me those videos, send me that, and they never did. And they never did. So it was crazy the stories that were being subligated out here. But ask Alethea because that's what she told me. I remember Eric Brown told me not to call him on this live stream. That's why I didn't call her on the live stream. I've been told that that's wrong to do that. So that's why I didn't do it. I never saw the videos. In the meantime, I'm gonna go through my text messages with Alethea to see if I have it in writing that she said that as well. There's a lot of people saying no. I'm gonna go for that. Oh, y'all want to vote? Let me see how many people voted. Oh, it don't tell me 15 votes. Out of the 30 people, do y'all want to vote so we can figure this out? Anybody else want to vote? Man, y'all went and got y'all fucking troll accounts to vote. So what y'all saying is the question remains: did Straight Drop or Logic do videos on Lovely showing rats and roaches running around the place? And they are saying no. Okay. Anybody else want to vote? Y'all want to go get some more trolls? Y'all want to go get some more troll accounts to vote? It's it's so funny here. You said a hole in the wall. That place was a hole in the anyway. Anyway, yo, Karen, I need to get off the live stream because I need to chop it up with Karen for coffee. We didn't have our coffee this morning, and that's unfair to us. Well, I'm gonna thank y'all for the 24 votes. I'm gonna end the poll. They say no. Um, I'm a still quote my source because I never watched her back then, and I watched very limited of them. All I know for certain is they did the video of the outside of the house before the storm, and I can always live on that. All right. Today broadcast was brought to you by the M and the O, and I was speaking on cemetery business. And the only reason why another sector was mentioned, oops, sector, and that sector would be State Gang and the Slippers at this point, is because I gotta put disclaimers on it. Is because some of the engagement occurred on their platforms, and the other community that was mentioned is just because girl they don't like me. The other community that was mentioned is because she's talking about cemetery business. This is Mo, and I'm not a hoe.